Should you drink coffee every day? Coffee is one of the most popular and consumed beverages worldwide, cherished not only for its distinctive flavor and aroma, but also for its various effects on the human body. At the heart of this beverage is caffeine, a bioactive compound that acts as a stimulant to the central nervous system. Over the years, coffee has been the subject of numerous scientific studies that have explored its effects on health and well-being, from its influence on cognitive and physical performance to its impact on metabolism and cardiovascular health. In this video, we will examine in detail the various aspects of how coffee affects the human body, providing a more comprehensive understanding of the benefits and potential health implications of this popular beverage. Coffee exerts a notable impact on the central nervous system, CNS, thanks to its most prominent active component, caffeine. This molecule is a natural stimulant that crosses the blood-brain barrier and reaches the brain, where it triggers a series of physiological and neurochemical effects. When caffeine enters the body, it begins to interact with adenosine receptors in the brain. Adenosine is a neurotransmitter that plays a fundamental role in regulating sleep and relaxation. By blocking adenosine receptors, caffeine prevents this molecule from fulfilling its inhibitory function, resulting in a reduced sensation of fatigue and drowsiness. Instead, there is an increase in the release of excitatory neurotransmitters, such as dopamine and noradrenaline, promoting a state of heightened alertness and mental concentration. This increase in neuronal activity has numerous implications for cognitive functioning. On one hand, there is an improvement in attention and concentration, which can be beneficial in situations requiring a high level of intellectual performance, such as studying or working. Additionally, caffeine has been shown to facilitate the consolidation of short-term memory, which could explain why many people turn to coffee to enhance their information retention capacity. However, the stimulating effect of coffee is not limited to the cognitive domain. It has also been observed that caffeine can influence mood, acting as a mild antidepressant. This is partly due to its ability to increase dopamine levels, a neurotransmitter associated with feelings of pleasure and well-being. In fact, some studies suggest that regular coffee consumption may be related to a lower risk of depression in certain populations. In addition to its effects on the CNS, caffeine can also impact other systems of the body. For example, it can stimulate the peripheral nervous system, resulting in an increase in heart rate and blood pressure. This physiological response can be beneficial in certain situations, such as during physical exercise, where increased cardiovascular activity can improve athletic performance. Coffee exerts a significant influence on the human body, especially through its main active component, caffeine. From its ability to enhance alertness and mental concentration to its potential effect on mood and cardiovascular function, coffee has become an iconic beverage that continues to fascinate scientists and consumers alike. However, it is important to consume it in moderation and consider that its effects may vary depending on individual sensitivity and the context in which it is consumed. One of the most prominent effects is related to its ability to affect the cardiovascular system, specifically regarding heart rate and blood pressure. The primary active agent responsible for these effects is caffeine, a substance naturally found in coffee beans. When we consume coffee, caffeine is absorbed into the bloodstream and begins to act in the body, including the cardiovascular system. One of the most immediate responses observed after consuming coffee is an increase in heart rate. This is because caffeine stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for activating the body's fight-or-flight responses. As a result, the heart beats faster to pump blood more efficiently and meet the body's demands. In addition to the increase in heart rate, caffeine can also impact blood pressure. In the short term, some studies have shown that caffeine consumption can cause a mild and transient increase in blood pressure, especially in individuals who are not accustomed to consuming caffeine regularly. However, this effect tends to be more pronounced in individuals sensitive to caffeine and tends to decrease with tolerance to caffeine consumption over time. It is important to note that, while the increase in heart rate and blood pressure after consuming coffee may be a normal and expected response in most people, there are certain medical medical conditions in which caffeine consumption should be limited or avoided. For example, individuals with uncontrolled hypertension or pre-existing heart problems may be more susceptible to the cardiovascular effects of coffee and may experience complications if they consume large amounts of caffeine. Furthermore, coffee is a complex beverage that contains a variety of compounds that can influence cardiovascular health in different ways. For example, some studies suggest that certain antioxidant compounds present in coffee may have protective effects on the cardiovascular system by reducing inflammation and improving endothelial function. In summary, coffee consumption can have significant effects on the cardiovascular system, including an increase in heart rate and blood pressure. While these effects are usually benign in most people, it is important to consume coffee in moderation and consider individual cardiovascular health needs. If you have concerns about how coffee may affect your health, it is advisable to speak with a healthcare professional for personalized guidance. Did you know that one of the effects of coffee is that it can act as a diuretic? This characteristic of coffee refers to its ability to increase urine production and thus promote the elimination of fluids from the body. This diuretic effect has been the subject of interest and debate in the scientific and medical community, and its complete understanding requires consideration of several factors. Firstly, caffeine is the primary component of coffee responsible for its diuretic effect. Caffeine acts as an antagonist to the adenosine receptor in the kidneys, leading to a decrease in the reabsorption of sodium and water in the renal tubules. As a result, there is increased water excretion through urine, which leads to an increase in urine production and ultimately to the diuretic effect observed after consuming coffee. However, it is important to note that the diuretic effect of coffee can vary depending on several factors, including individual sensitivity to caffeine, the amount of coffee consumed, and the frequency of consumption. Generally, individuals who are not accustomed to consuming caffeine regularly may experience a more pronounced diuretic effect after consuming coffee, while those who are regular consumers may develop some tolerance to this effect over time. Additionally, the diuretic effect of coffee may also be influenced by other factors, such as the total amount of fluids consumed, the presence of other compounds in coffee, and the hydration status of the individual. For example, while coffee may promote fluid loss through urine, the amount of fluids consumed with coffee, such as the water present in the beverage itself, may partially counteract this effect and mitigate any negative impact on hydration. It is important to note that while the diuretic effect of coffee may have potential benefits, such as helping to eliminate excess fluids from the body and preventing fluid retention, it may also have some negative implications if consumed in excess or in certain situations. For example, excessive coffee consumption could contribute to dehydration in sensitive individuals or in situations of high stress or intense physical activity, where fluid replenishment is especially important. In conclusion, coffee exerts a diuretic effect on the human body, mainly due to its caffeine content. This effect can vary depending on individual sensitivity to caffeine, the amount and frequency of consumption, as well as other factors related to hydration and overall health. While the diuretic effect of coffee may have some benefits, it is important to consume it in moderation and consider individual hydration and health needs. If you have concerns about how coffee may affect your health, one of the most well-known effects of coffee on the digestive system is its ability to stimulate the production of gastric acid in the stomach. The caffeine present in coffee can activate the cells lining the stomach lining, leading to increased secretion of gastric acid. This can be problematic for some people, especially those who already have conditions such as gastritis or gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, as the increase in gastric acid production can worsen symptoms such as heartburn, indigestion, or abdominal pain. Additionally, coffee can have a laxative effect on some people. This is partly due to caffeine, which can stimulate the smooth muscle of the gastrointestinal tract and increase intestinal motility. As a result, some people may experience an increased urge to defecate after consuming coffee, especially in the morning hours. On the other hand, coffee also contains compounds that may have beneficial effects on gastrointestinal health. For example, antioxidants present in coffee, such as chlorogenic acids, may have anti-inflammatory and protective properties for the lining of the gastrointestinal tract. Some studies have suggested that regular coffee consumption may be associated with a lower risk of developing certain gastrointestinal diseases, such as inflammatory bowel disease or colorectal cancer. Although more research is needed to confirm these effects, it is important to note that the response to coffee can vary significantly among individuals, and what works well for one person may not be suitable for another. Those experiencing gastrointestinal issues after consuming coffee may choose to limit their intake or opt for coffee varieties with lower acidity, such as decaffeinated coffee or low-acid coffee. Coffee can have various effects on the digestive system, including stimulation of gastric acid production and modulation of intestinal motility. While these effects may cause discomfort in some individuals, they may also provide potential benefits for gastrointestinal health in others. As always, it is important to consume coffee in moderation and pay attention to how it individually affects your body. If you have concerns about how coffee might be affecting your gastrointestinal health, it is advisable to speak with a healthcare professional for personalized guidance. Caffeine, as mentioned earlier, is a central nervous system stimulant. One of its most notable effects is its ability to block adenosine receptors in the brain. Adenosine is a neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation and drowsiness. By blocking these receptors, caffeine increases neuronal activity and promotes wakefulness and alertness. As a result, consuming coffee, especially in significant amounts or close to bedtime, can interfere with sleep. Caffeine has a half-life of around 5 to 6 hours, meaning that even a cup of coffee consumed in the afternoon can have lasting effects and make it difficult to fall asleep at night. Additionally, regular coffee consumption can alter sleep patterns in the long term, decreasing the total amount of deep and REM sleep, which can negatively impact sleep quality. It is important to note that caffeine sensitivity varies among individuals. Some people may tolerate consuming coffee in the afternoon or even at night without experiencing significant effects on sleep, while others may be more sensitive and require a longer period of caffeine abstinence before bedtime to ensure restful sleep. Another relevant aspect is the impact of caffeine on anaerobic performance. Caffeine can enhance performance in high-intensity, short-duration activities such as weightlifting or sprints. This is partly due to its ability to increase the release of catecholamines, which are hormones that can improve muscle contraction and explosive power. Additionally, coffee and caffeine can also enhance concentration and mental alertness during exercise. This can be crucial in sports that require quick and precise decision-making, such as soccer or basketball. Caffeine can help maintain mental sharpness even when the body is fatigued, which can make the difference between success and failure in competition. However, it is important to note that the effects of caffeine can vary among individuals. Some people may experience side effects such as nervousness, irritability, insomnia, or stomach discomfort if they consume too much caffeine. Additionally, tolerance to caffeine can develop over time, meaning that increasingly larger amounts may be needed to experience the same effects. Coffee and caffeine can have a significant impact on physical performance and exercise. From enhancing endurance to reducing perceived effort and increasing muscle power, caffeine can be a useful tool for athletes and exercise enthusiasts. However, it is important to consume coffee and caffeine in moderation and pay attention to how they individually affect performance and overall health. If you have concerns about how coffee may affect your physical performance, it is advisable to speak with a healthcare professional or personal trainer for personalized guidance. In conclusion, coffee, with its main ingredient, caffeine, exerts a series of diverse effects on the human body, ranging from improving concentration and physical performance to influencing metabolism and cardiovascular health. Through decades of research, we have learned a lot about how coffee can affect our overall health and well-being. Despite individual differences in caffeine tolerance and its effects on the body, there is a positive message we can take away. Moderate coffee consumption can be part of a healthy and active lifestyle. For many, enjoying a cup of coffee can be a pleasurable experience and, in many cases, even beneficial to health. Just like with anything else, balance is key. Consuming coffee in moderation and paying attention to how it affects our body and sleep habits can help us maximize the benefits and minimize any potential negative impacts. Additionally, let's remember that coffee is just one part of a healthy lifestyle that includes balanced nutrition, regular exercise, adequate rest, and stress management. So, while you enjoy your next cup of coffee, remember to do so in moderation and with awareness of how it affects your body and overall well-being. With proper moderation, coffee can remain a delicious addition to our daily routine, and who knows, it might even help us reach our health and fitness goals. Another important effect is the relationship between coffee consumption and bone health. This topic has been debated in scientific research, as there are studies suggesting potential both positive and negative effects of coffee on bone density and the risk of osteoporosis. Some studies have raised concern that excessive coffee consumption, especially in high amounts, may be associated with decreased bone mineral density and increased risk of bone fractures. It has been suggested that this could be because coffee may interfere with calcium absorption in the intestines or affect calcium excretion through the kidneys. On the other hand, there are also research findings suggesting that coffee could have neutral or even protective effects on bone health. Some components of coffee, such as antioxidants, may have beneficial properties for bone health by reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, which are factors that can contribute to bone loss. In summary, the impact of coffee on bone health is a complex and not yet fully understood topic. Further research is needed to determine how coffee consumption specifically affects bone density and the risk of osteoporosis, and what factors may influence this relationship. This could have important implications for bone health, especially in populations that regularly consume coffee. Don't forget to like and subscribe to not miss out on any of our upcoming videos. Thank you very much for watching.